To the Middle East, and our favourite warrior for peace, Francesca Albanese, has, and I kid you not, demanded that the US and Israel, and I quote, make plans to offer reparations to the Palestinian people. Okay, so my bar is low here, right, with her, and I clearly have zero expectations when it comes to this woman, but even this I thought was far-fetched. Too much even for her. A parody account, maybe. So I checked. No, it was her. Potentially, the meaning of the word reparations had changed since I last used it, because the definition I had from the Oxford Dictionary was the action of making amends for a wrong one has done. I checked the Oxford Dictionary, and no, it still means exactly that. So the United Nations rep, Albanese, would like the US and Israel to make amends for the wrong they have done. How about this, Francesca? Why don't Hamas and all those in Gaza who took part in October 7, including those who cheered as the dead bodies of young women were paraded by, make amends first for the following? The atrocities they committed, the murderous killing spree against men, women and children that resulted in the biggest loss of Jewish life since the Holocaust. The hundreds of hostages they dragged back into tunnels and tortured, some, including babies, still there 500 days later. The thousands of their own women and children they used as human shields and launch pads for missiles aimed straight at Israel. And starting this whole bloody thing. And then, only then, might your request be considered. Side note, even then, it will be wholeheartedly rejected. Maybe you could save yourself the wasted time trying to do that and have a look at some of the testimony directly out of the mouth of former hostage Amit. Remember on Piers Morgan when you refused to concede Hamas would ever dare do such a thing?
If rape occurred, it should have been investigated, prosecuted, and the responsible people should be held to
UN says
justice.
it did happen.
No, the point is,
you work at the UN.
Said, no, the UN, the UN there are political appointees and then human rights appointees. And the Commission of Inquiry concluded that in June, that there was no evidence to support the claims of gang rape. But let's assume, I don't want to say anything that I've not investigated. So let's assume that rape occurred. So does it justify what Israel has done?
Well, Amit says, and I quote, "A Hamas terrorist dragged me and forced me to perform a sexual act on him. After I went to shower, he pressed a gun to my forehead. He hit me and forced me to drop the towel. He touched me and sat in the bathtub and hit me again." Well, or do you not believe her? Speaking of human rights agencies and their complete failure to fulfill their charters, a shout out to Amnesty International, often forgotten when I refer so often to places like the Red Cross and, of course, the UN. Their tagline, I was so interested to read this, goes like this: "We defend human rights around the world. Let's get to work." 500 days in Hamas captivity, that's a milestone we reached overnight. 70 people remain, 251 were taken. 3 released this month look like Holocaust survivors. So this is urgent. It always has been, but particularly now. So surely Amnesty, given their tagline, is all over this issue. On its public social media channels that it uses them to advocate for those who can't speak for themselves. So I did a quick scroll. Picked up my phone this morning, went to their X handle. I saw a post for Valentine's Day. Love is a human right, they say, and it is, by the way. Absolutely. But surely hostages held by terrorists qualify for space on the grid too. So I kept looking. Oh, the UK is ordering Apple to give someone permission to get someone's information, which is bad too, by the way. Sounds very dodgy, but surely if that's worth a post, the hostages must be too. See something about Sudan, that's good. Protesting in Angola, that's really good too. They are deeply alarmed about an imminent death sentence in Singapore. Absolutely, that matters. Oh, and we have a poem, and the poem reads, "Roses are red, violets are blue. We love human rights, and we hope you do too. Oh, that's so cute. They're angry about USA ID cuts, gang violence in Haiti. Oh, TikTok, here we go. Amnesty International wants targeted ads on TikTok banned for people under 18. Guys, it's taken me a while, but I have found finally a post that mentions hostages, Palestinians, and Israel. Oh, wait. They're applauding the release of someone they say is a Palestinian aid worker and prisoner, accusing Israel of carrying out a flagrant miscarriage of justice. By the way, this guy they're referring to was accused of funneling funds to Hamas, convicted of it in 2022. But still, it's a lovely tribute. At least they're mentioning it. Oh, and then they go on to, straight after that, call for the release of others detained in Israel and civilian hostages in Gaza. What a joke. Human rights? Here's a better poem for you, Amnesty International. Roses are red, violets are blue. We love human rights unless you're a Jew. By the way, there's no copyright on that. Feel free to use. Hamas officials really are so efficient, aren't they? Elon Musk might take note, huh? Could use them at Doge. Not only did they find the time to kill and torture innocent people, they managed to attend forums and boast of their ability to do so as well. That's no mean feat. Al Jazeera, you know, that independent, unbiased, non-terrorist affiliated network, gave a platform to these monsters this week. They used it to again label October 7 a historic success and pose such poignant questions as Hamas's victory is an opportunity and that Israel's defeat is possible and also a challenge. Is there readiness and seriousness for such a battle? Yeah, you know, deep. Wow. Oh, by the way, Francesca Albanese, you might want to talk to your people at Hamas about their rhetoric. It's a little hard to demand reparations when the side you bat for is claiming victory. Just an FYI. The Hamas official went on to claim that his fighters had dismantled the IDF's Gaza division during the attack and that was proof of their power. The IDF's Gaza division, really? You murdered women and children in their beds. There is nothing powerful about that. I mean, depending on who you ask. Suspect the UN, Red Cross, and now Amnesty might disagree. And finally, a Gaza rocket misfired this week, killing a Palestinian teenager. Oh, the crickets are back. Not a peep out of the usual suspects. Nothing. Where is your outrage? I can only assume when you can't link it to Israel, even at a stretch, it's not worthy of a mention. Thank you for continuing to expose your own hypocrisy and stupidity so blatantly and openly. It really does save me so much time and makes the process of collating this material so much easier. I mean, it also makes you a complete laughingstock, but that's your problem, not mine. Carry on.